Hello and welcome everyone to Copy and Paste, the clean and family-friendly Reddit reading podcast. This is the 6th episode of r/CrazyIdeas, where sometimes the ideas actually aren't that crazy. And don't forget, if you like this podcast, then it would be greatly appreciated for you to like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me. Okay, let's get started. The first post by user/Bizzle Worldwide, remake Home Alone, shot for shot, with the original cast. And do not acknowledge they're all 30 years older. Do not recast anyone who's died. Just have the characters pause as if listening and then respond accordingly. User/flopsyplum replies, if smokers can have smoke breaks every hours, non-smokers should have gaming breaks every hour. The third post by an NSFW account, Gravity Gyms. A gym where all the weights are smalls, but you go into a room where you can set the gravity higher to make it heavier or lower to make it lower. The fourth post by an NSFW account, start a newspaper by the name Trust Me Bro, so that whenever somebody asks for a source during a debate, you can say Trust Me Bro and get away with it. The fifth post by user/Nazamroth, start recruiting double amputees as astronauts. You save like 30 kilos on each of them, plus reduced resource consumption up there. Plus the leg parts of spacesuits are really not needed at all during a spacewalk anyway. The sixth post by user/liquidcarbohydrates, take an emergency census in the USA once the pandemic is under control, to make sure we're properly adjusting to the representation for the states. There have already been more COVID deaths in the country than Wyoming's population. The seventh post by user/top requirement 2102, a personal email address that forces the sender to pay 10 cents to get an email to me. 10 cents is pretty cheap for one-off emails. I'd gladly pay 10 cents knowing that my message will get much more attention than others. Spammers, on the other hand, would have to register a credit card to send spam, and it would be enormously expensive to send millions of emails like they do now. This has to exist somewhere already. Okay, I'm not sure if this is something I would want, but at least I'd get less spam emails. The 8th post by an NSFW account, I have an idea. I don't think it's crazy, but other people think it is. Since I was 10, I've always had this idea to find a nice big rock on a hill somewhere and build a tiny to scale castle on it and make it out of real stone. I want to make it as an art piece for fellow hikers to find and appreciate. Now, I'm 31 and I'm living in a rural place. I've told other people this idea and they think it's stupid and I don't want to make it in my backyard. The idea is to make it in a nice isolated place so others can discover it and get a kick out of it. But they just think it's ridiculous. Oh my god, that's not ridiculous. This is definitely not crazy. That idea is golden. The 9th post by user/Sir the Lord III. Raise a kid who never sees the color blue. When he's 10, introduce them to it. Boom, amazing new color. Probably he'll need to wear special glasses to block completely the blue light, but hey, science. I don't know what to say. I mean, as humans, we can't fathom seeing another color, but it would be cool if that boy or girl creates an autobiography when he's older, and then it'd be cool to know what it's like. The 10th post by user/theRealDerekWalker. Everybody should be allowed to fake their own death once in their life without consequence. See all the nice things people would say about them. An old colleague of mine died. Everybody shared great stories, kind words. People he hadn't spoken to in a decade came out of the woodworks to share sentiments. If he had been around to see all of this, he would have been so filled with joy to see how many people he impacted. We never get to experience this. I know it's not realistic, but I just like the idea of people shedding their walls for a second and sharing how they feel about you. It could help some of us. The 11th post by user/Chicken Cordon Bleu. Professors should have to take the same exam as the students for their grade to be used as the benchmark. My math professor keeps making little mistakes and has to go back to correct himself. I bet if he took our exam, he would get a 60%. We're learning directly from him explaining it to us, so our expectations should be based on his abilities. The 12th post by user/nowithmorsodium. Make real face masks, but market them as face mask. Oh my god, that's so good. The 13th post by user / switched on SNES. A stacked washer dryer where the washer is on the top. After the cycle, it automatically drops into the dryer. Wow. Genius. The 14th post by user / flopsyplum. Install a basketball hoop in the outfield of a baseball stadium. If the batter hits the baseball through the hoop, his team automatically wins the game. Wow. That's smart. The 15th post from user / Kizudemlian. A website to check what accounts and websites your email is linked to, so I can delete some and change the password on others. Problem is, you're gonna need a password for the website to use. So, the 16th post from user / PM me a happy memory. Play an ongoing game with your kids, where you try to sneak a gummy bear into their drink without them finding out. It will seem fun and innocent to them, but it could help train them to keep an eye on their drinks. The 17th post from user / IvanBGD011. Instead of plastic and wood single-use utensils, we make them out of thin stone. It's cheap, not a problem for the environment, and durable enough. The 18th post from user / HiDude100. Home soap bar recycler. When a soap bar reaches 20%, put it aside and replace it. When you have 5 such soap bars, place them in the soap bar mold, or press to yield a new standard size soap bar. Wow. The 19th post from user / it's an NSFW account. There should be races where every lap disqualifies the driver in last place, such as F1, but 100 cars start on a 2-mile track and whoever's in last leaves the race. Whomever leads the pack on the final lap wins. An NSFW account for the 20th post says, instead of disclaimers, have a brief description of what happened to make a disclaimer necessary, along with a picture of whoever did it. An example: Karen blamed us because one of her kids bumped into her when she was using one of our toothpicks to scratch an itch on her nose. Karen is now blind in one eye. The 21st post by user / Lavanado. What if, at movie theaters, they had closed captioning glasses the way they do 3D glasses? If you want to see captions, pick up a pair on the way in and the text would be visible to you. People who didn't need captions or would be distracted would not see them, and people who did need them could be accommodated. This is one of the greatest ideas ever. The 22nd post by user / GodGermany. Facebook should introduce parental controls, where adult children can limit the amount of time their parents spend on Facebook. A bonus if you can switch it off entirely on the limited time you get to spend with them if you live in different cities. The 23rd and final post by an NSFW account. Dogs can be trained to sniff out most diseases. Why don't we invest billions into training as many dogs as possible and pay people to patrol them in city centers? These dogs would walk around crowded areas sniffing out people who are sick. Then they're handed a card letting them know. So these people get a note that says, "Our dog detected that you could possibly have X disease. If you're not aware of this, please get them checked." They are also given a badge with a color corresponding to the disease. So if another dog sniffs them out, then the handler pulls them away, knowing they've already been sniffed. COVID-infected people are told they may be infected, cancer patients get detected earlier, other infectious diseases get caught. Benefits. Doggies. I'm gonna start my own political party, and this is my policy. Vote for me for dogs that sniff your butt and tell you that you have diabetes. Unfortunately, there was no incredible ideas sub, so I had to settle with this one. Edit, if we allocated $10 billion US, we can afford 222,000 trained bloodhounds plus handlers. For the 310 cities in the USA, we can give each of them an average 716 dogs plus handler combos. Assuming each of these would make 2 to 3 new diagnoses per day, the USA could make 600,000 new diagnoses each day using these dogs. This would be an incredible public health move. Of course, this wouldn't work as we would run out. All we need to do now is reallocate money from the war on drugs, and we will see massive strides made in public health. And unfortunately, that was it for today. If you enjoyed this podcast, I would greatly appreciate for you to like and subscribe. To listen to this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or any of my platforms, or to visit my social, click the link in the description, and please feel free to send me an audio message or leave a comment. It's been a pleasure. Goodbye!